Now I'm explaining about study session timer. Is a app. So we are using Photoshop, right? Actually for the UI UX design, mostly for the web design, the preferable software is that Figma, right? For the user interactions and all prototypes we create. But here simply we are creating the designs, UI designs only, that to study session timer. Okay, so first let us check what is study session timer. It is a ideal for learning app UI prototyping in Adobe Photoshop. So below is a clear beginner friendly step-by-step procedure I am giving. So design only, no coding. We are not using any interactions, coding and all. Just design only because we are using Photoshop. With the Photoshop I am explaining, right? So actually what is prototyping, particularly in UI, right? So UI prototyping is the process of creating interactive functional simulations of a digital product's user interface, UA, right? We is the user interface. Actually what is that? Suppose when you open any website or mobile apps, food apps or whatever the app, if you check, there are some buttons, sir, some start, click, stop and end, proceed. Some buttons are there and some with some colors, with the text marks are there. So that is what displaying on the screen, so that users can click on that and they use the product. So that is the designing of the display, that screen, right? That is UI designing. Okay. So refine and visualize workflows before full scale development. It transforms static designs into clickable models, low to high fidelity, to gather user feedback, reduce risks and bridge the gap between concept and implementation. Okay, it transforms static designs into clickable models. But here in Photoshop we are not using clickable for the screen designs, the two UI designs. Here the step-by-step procedure is there actually. So simply I will explain this one. The first step, how to proceed this one. Plan the app, screen. So before Photoshop you have to understand and prepare. Yeah, before opening PS, decide what your app needs. Okay, the main elements: app title, that is a study timer, and timer display. Suppose there is a 24 minutes. So display, suppose it is randomly we are using this. The buttons are start, pause, reset. We have to create, and visual progress bar, circular or horizontal, to show the progressness of the usage, right? And the minimal distractor free look. A tip means here sketch it quickly on a paper. That is almost every time it is very important. That is a thumbnail, right? The quick sketch is very important. Then step 2, create a new document, suppose for the mobile screen. Open Adobe Photoshop here and go to file, new, and set width to 1080 by 1920 because it is a mobile app. Okay, and resolution must be 72 because it is for the UI designing, and color mode RGB, background make it white, create. This is what this matches the standard mobile screen. Then the step 3, set up guides for alignment. Okay, go to view, new guide layout, set columns for gutter, means between columns there is a space, that is called gutter, right? 20 pixels and margin 40 pixels. Then click OK. Just keep your design clean and professional. The step 4, design the app background. Okay, select rectangle tool, you draw rectangle covering the full canvas. Okay, and that is, and fill with some colors. Sizable colors are because light blue, light gray, or soft green. Keep it calm. This is a study app, and otherwise you can use the color code directly. Otherwise you can use your preferable colors within this blue, gray, and green. In step 5, add app title. So select text tool, T, type study session timer, and font suggestion. So there are suitable, some fonts are there, Poppin, Sermon, Tester, Arial rounded, or you can choose your own. Font size between 48, make it 50 also, and align center. Place it top with a good spacing. It should be on the top. And then step 6, create a timer display. Okay, so type 25, the number, and font size 9120 between pixels. Font weight bold, color dark gray or navy, center it on screen. This should be the main focus because it is a timer. And in step 7, create visual progress bar. Okay, circular recommended. So circular progress, so select ellipse tool, U, and hold shift, draw perfect circle, and fill none because only outline only required, no fill. Okay, that's stroke. Width you can use here 15 to 20 pixels. Color again light gray, and here duplicate the circle and change stroke color blue or green. Use stroke, dash line or mask to simulate progress. This visually shows time passing. In step 8, create buttons, start, pass, reset. Select rounded rectangle tool, draw 3 buttons, button sizes. Okay, these are 220 pixels, height 60 pixels. The colors for start green, for pass orange, for reset button red or gray. Okay, add text using text tool, align buttons evenly, use layer styles, drop shadow for depth. That is very important. Then you can group the layers, very important. Organize layers properly, background, header, timer, progress bar, and buttons. As far as for the group, Control G. Okay, this make your photo type professional and editable. Then duplicate the artboards for app status because we want 4 stats, right? So default screen, 25, the number, running screen, progress visible, and pass screen, timer stopped, complete screen, session complete. And duplicate it, right click and layer group, duplicate group, this becomes complete prototype flow. Okay, then export the prototype. Go to file, export, export as a format PNG, high quality, quality high, export each scene separately. Okay, this is the procedure actually. So let us check one by one how to do all these things. See, this is actually, okay, this is actually a completed map. The same thing here we are creating again. Okay, so first what you do, take the new file, new, the width is 1080 by 1920, name it study timer. Study timer, new, okay. And resolution 72, okay, 1080 by 1920, and color mode is 300. So create, this is, okay. Now what we have to do, we have to divide these into columns and specify the gutters also. So where we have to do that, okay, now come to view, there guides, there is a new guide layout, okay, click here. See, already I have used, okay, so number of columns 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and gutter spaces suppose 20 pixels, okay, and this is 40 pixels because it is in default it is showing inches, right, 40 pixels. Okay, for the alignment purpose we are using this, right, 4, 20 and 40. So okay, that's it. Now what you do, apply any color, okay, So choose any color, suppose from the layers. I am creating one more layer, new layer, using this rectangle tool, and I will go with light blue. This is that's it. So close this one. Okay, then so what you have to do, first create this designs, UI designs, right? Name it study session timer. Study session timer. So make a little bit smaller. Yeah, and keep this in center. Okay, and then we have to create this timer. So I am using this text tool and type 25. And if you want, you can increase this size, keep it 100. Okay, I am keeping this here. Then here we have to create the circle, okay, that shows the time, running time, passing time and all. So here I am using ellipse tool. From center I want to create, I am using shift and alt. So this is creating the center. Done. And this should be in 40 pixels. The fill is not required. Here I want 20 pixels. Okay, so I want to use this green. So 20. This is, make it here. Control TM is a little bit smaller. I want, yes. Okay, then here what I am doing, we have to create a duplicate of the same ellipse, because I want another round over on that to cover, to show the timer progress. So for that I will duplicate this one, Control J. Okay, this will give the gray color. Okay, suppose under this will come. Okay, lock these two. Yes. Then select all these, so that all the layers except that the background rectangle, all layers have to select and make it center. This is a center, but here you can use the the background also, so that will give exact center. Now lock the background. Yes. Now we have to create these buttons. How to create this button? It's very easy. I'm using rectangle tool. This is the rectangle, right? Make it curve, and here can fill with green, this green, and remove the outline. Yeah, this is okay. Now here what we are doing, I write the text start, write the text start. The start. Keep this on the button. Of course, it must be the white, and select these two and make it centered. Now here I want to add some embossing effect to the button. So there is a rectangle, right? Here it is. So double click on that, and I am using the bevel and emboss. Okay. So these are some options are there, because already I used all these settings. So with the same settings, I am confirming again. Say okay. Done. Then come to here, and here it should be in highlight, okay, because it's already started. Now how to do that? Select the T, the text layer, and double click on that, and use the outer glow. This is the outer glow. Okay, this also keep the same. Fantastic. Now what we have to do? By pressing the Alt, duplicating another one, and change this to pass button. What's the name? Pass button. P-A-U-S-E. Pass. Okay. And here not required the glow of the glow. And here change the color. Suppose orange color. Make this color. Okay, done. I'm using Control S on desktop. I'm saving. Study time and new. Save. Yes. And here I'm using duplicate. Okay, I'm pressing Alt and drag another one. That's it. And here it is what? Reset button. First change the color. This is, and type the text. Reset. Okay, and select these all buttons and give the proper alignment. Yeah, they're in the right alignment. Just good. Control S. Now see, created a 1, that is a default screen, and it should be in gray, and these are in the start button in on, the number showing is 25th. Yes, this is. Now here what you have to do, select all including this background, okay, and here I am using Control G, means group, or otherwise you can choose the group of folder here, right, it is grouped. So everything there. Now this is. Now what we have to do, we have to create the remaining 3, the total 4 required: default screen, running screen, and pass screen, and completed screen, right. So no need to draw and no need to design everything again, okay, should not be like that. So take the copies of this one. So here what you have to do, select this one and right click here, duplicate artboard. Yes, duplicated. So one more duplicate we want. Again duplicate artboard, the same size, and one more duplicate artboard. Yes, these are. Fix this one. Now I have to modify them. First give the name. The first one is default screen. Here this is. Default screen. So that means this is. And what is the second one is running screen. Running screen, and next this is password screen. Password screen. The fourth one is completed screen. Completed screen, right? But here we have to do a few changes because we have created all the duplicates, right, from the first one. They're here in this, we have to do some changes. So first change with the time. This is 1842. So this is 1842. And here this is what running up to here, mostly 60% of the time used here, right? So that how to do that one, come here, see here, we duplicated this one. These are the two, right? So over on that, what we have to do here, I'm using masking here. So I'm using the mask button here. Beside FX there is a mask. Click here. I'm using marquee tool, rectangular marquee tool here, and suppose this is the 50% and little bit of this this much here. I'm adding mask. Okay. So I'm using brush, and this is the mask, and here it is a mask layer, and use the B brush tool and add the mask. No, actually it should be in reverse. Yeah. Yeah, here. This much. So this is right. Control D, deselect. Here it is started, and up to here session completed up to here, and this is the remaining portion, right? Now what you have to do here, check the buttons. Actually it should highlight the pass because it's in running, right? At running the time you apply the pass button. So here off the outer glow here, come here, yes, here we apply the pass. It is pass button is active, so that means what, the session is while it is running you apply the pass button. Next, after applying the pass button, it should stuck at there only, right? Here the active time is passed here at the same time, right? So I have to change all this here. This is 1842 and must be the same color. The gray. At that time it is passed. And this is, and suppose it should be the same, right? So what I am doing, I am copying these two here and Control C, delete this one and Control Shift V, right? So in the same place I copied and Control S, and then here add the text passed state, and it should not be the active, so this we have to remove, and here I am using the duplicate, Alt and drag here, and write that name passed state. Passed state. I am using caps only. Passed state. Okay, that too in the same color, done. But here, because the light blue and the light blue, the visibility of the text is not looking good, right? So I'll change the colors. Suppose I'll go with some other color. I'll use for all the same color. Okay, done. Now come here. This is the passed state. And the last one is completed screen. So here this should complete and no active buttons. So completed. So completed means this cell active. Okay, and this should reach 00 because they're completed. So I'm using Control C and come here and Control V. Completed. Session complete. Session complete. And outer glow must be off. Yes, this is nice. And this text color should be this, because it is complete. I'm using save. Now see, each one now it is completed. Yes, these are the 1, the default session, and this is the running one, and this is the passed screen, and this is completed session. Now we have to save this. How to save these 4? So go to File and here export as. Now see, select all, or otherwise one by one also you can save. First let us check with the default session, and PNG it is. If you have any copywriting information is there, you can add here. Okay, so nothing is there. Now I am using export. On desktop I am copying default screen, so I am giving that number 1, this is, and export, exported, and then again go to export PNG. Check all these things on the desktop, refresh, and create a folder. Control C, and here I am using new folder. I am using the name, and I select all and drag into that. Now let us check all these things. Yeah, this is study session timer. The one is default screen, and the second is the running screen. 1842 it has been stopped, right? So as the pause button is on, this is the paused state, no active anything, right? No activeness, and here it is a completed screen, session complete. Okay, so these are study session timer.